Jesse, do you fancy yourself a funny person? I do, actually. Yes, I do. Why is that relevant to this particular video? Oh, because this is going to be a very funny video because we're going to call this, How Is This Real? Okay, we're gonna do 3 stories and all of them are, how is this real? So we're gonna lead the video off with the new transgender stormtrooper from Star Wars, all right? Because listen, there's nothing funny about this. There's nothing that I'll be able to make funny about this story at all. And then we have Kamala Harris's new blue collar commercial to reach the men in middle America. It is ludicrous. I just did a video about Kamala. I'm doing another one. Because what is this, dude? Okay, we're gonna talk about that, but also, and then also in How Is This Real? Well, here's a clip of a more serious conversation, and they're like, "Hey, Kamala, here's a question." Blah blah blah, and she's like, "I plan on making 10 million illegals citizens so they can vote." You're all, yeah. It's one of those things. I feel like we called that. You know, I feel like you kind of telegraphed that one. If you almost openly despise most Americans, you know, because we are the majority now. It's weird. Like, it seems like you're going to eventually have to import new voters because, you know, we're on to you. And this point enables me to bring this story into How Is This Real also, which is that Star Wars just unveiled their first transgender clone trooper. We're going to go ahead and stick a pin in that, though, because I just went off for 12 minutes about the transgender stormtrooper, probably the single greatest rant of my entire YouTube career. So let's just do this first, because I don't want you guys to have to wait, 20 minutes to see the political ad that Kamala Harris made, which is, again, targeted at middle America blue-collared men. I actually am just going to play this for you, and we're going to discuss. Okay, we're just going to go one time all the way through, because I'm finding it almost impossible to not pause it. So let's just watch the whole thing, and then we'll do it again.
I'm a man.
I'm a man.
I'm a man, man.
And I'm man enough.
I'm man enough to enjoy a barrel-proof bourbon.
Meat.
Man enough to cook my steak rare.
Man enough to deadlift 500, then braid the out of my daughter's hair.
You think I'm afraid to rebuild a carburetor? I eat carburetors for breakfast.
I ain't afraid of bears.
That's what bear hugs are for.
I'll tell you another thing I sure as shit am not afraid of. Women.
I'm not afraid of women.
I'm not afraid of women.
They want to control their bodies? I say go for it.
They want to use IVF to start a family? I'm not afraid of families.
They want to be childless cat ladies?
Have all the cats you want.
Woman wants to be president?
Well, I hope she has the guts to look me right in the eye and accept my full-throated endorsement.
Because I'm man enough to support women.
Man enough to know what kind of donuts I like.
Man enough to admit I'm lost, even when I refuse to ask for directions.
Man enough to not ban young women from reading Little Women.
Or one of those pants books that the sisters like.
I'm man enough to raw dog a flight. It sucked. Not worth it.
I'm man enough to be emotional in front of my wife.
In front of my kids.
In front of my horse. I'm man enough to tell you that I cry at Love Actually. Good Will Hunting.
West Side Story.
That and Predator.
And I'm sick of so-called men domineering, belittling, and controlling women just so they can feel more powerful. That's not how my mama raised me.
I love women.
I love women who support their families.
Women who decide not to have families.
Women who take charge.
And I'm man enough to help them win.
Yeah, that's real. Someone wrote that script, okay? They wrote that down and said, this is going to be a really great ad that's going to hit them right in the gut, you know? My honest take on that is I think they had an idea. They're like, we are getting absolutely killed in middle America with the men. We got to do something. We got to do something. They're like, well, let's write a script specifically targeted at them. They're all, what's the issue that's most important to blue collar men in middle America? They're all, definitely abortion. 100% reproductive rights. That's the one. Also, let's make sure that we show them you can be a real man and you can be, a supporter of women, because that's definitely something that these regular guys, these regular Trumpers, they don't know that. They think that you just need to take a boot and stick it straight on a woman's neck and hold it there until she suffocates or submits. That's exactly what it's like. You could just look. Do you actually know any Trump voters? What? Are you out of your mind? I wouldn't be friends with a psychopath that would vote for that guy. So you don't know any of them. No, but I know everything I need to know, okay? None of them support women. They just want to choke the rights right out of all the ladies. You're all right. So who are you going to get to write that script? They're like, hey, is that White House aide that got pounded out in that congressional hearing room and then posted on Instagram? Is he available? They're all, oh my God. He is looking for a comeback. Perfect. A perfect man. No one understands blue collar men like the dude that had gay sex in the congressional hearing room and then posted on Instagram. Like, I feel like he's going to just nail this script. What on earth are they thinking, dude? You want to know why Kamala, even in a situation where the entire deck in every possible way is rigged in her favor, and why she's getting crushed is because whoever, aside from her not being able to answer a question that, requires 3 seconds of thought that's not on a cue card, these are the dimwits that they have running the campaign. Like, who is this for? Okay, now let's go through it again and let's just, go point by point.
I'm a man.
I'm a man.
I'm a man, man.
And I'm man enough.
I'm man enough to enjoy a barrel-proof bourbon.
So again, initially I thought this was like a joke. I thought it's like satire or like, they're like tongue in cheek, right? And then you realize that it's not. I'm man enough to take a bourbon neat. That means I just drink it straight. That's what a man does.
Neat.
Man enough to cook my steak rare.
Man enough to deadlift 500, then braid the out of my daughter's hair.
See, that I can at least understand is like, they're all, listen, we're painting the picture of a man's man, but he's still a family man. It's like, oh, so you're talking to me. Hey, you're talking to me. Okay. Hey, Harris campaign, I'm your target audience if that's who you're going for. And this ad is so fucking stupid. I'm doing an entire video about it. So I think what you would call that is failure. Let's continue.
You think I'm afraid to rebuild a carburetor? I eat carburetors for breakfast.
Like, that's a line that cannot actually have come out of a person's brain. There's no one who actually thinks that is a good line to write into a script unless they're like, what's the most cliche shit that I could possibly imagine if I'm trying to demonstrate total incompetence in script writing?
I ain't afraid of bears.
That's what bear hugs are for.
I'll tell you now.
What does that mean? Okay, like I got the other part, where bench 500 pounds or like braid my daughter's hair or whatever. I was like, oh, all right. But not scared of bears. That's what bear hugs are for. Okay. And you think we didn't catch that gay reference? I told you it was one of those guys. It's like, ow, 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 ow. Yes, I can have that script by next week. Hey, you think we didn't catch that? Bears. Yeah, we caught it. There's no subliminal gay shit getting by me.
Another thing I sure as shit am not afraid of. Women.
I'm not afraid of women.
I'm not afraid of women.
They want to control their bodies? I say go for it.
Yep. So the best way to frame an issue like this, which actually has to do with protecting babies, for these people. Listen, again, I'm not even getting in on the issue. I'm just saying I do understand their position, which is they're protecting babies. Best way to address their concerns when they're like, hey, have you actually seen what the actual procedure looks like? You ever watched an ultrasound during, one of those procedures? You ever seen, the little body get ripped apart? You ever seen the silent scream, where you can see its face, where you could tell that it actually is feeling this? You ever seen that? They're like, we've chosen not to watch that. Okay. Well, those concerns will be alleviated the second that you say, are you man enough to let her have control of her reproductive rights? Because every man is such a simple Neanderthal that as soon as you challenge his manhood, they're just going to say whatever you say. It's like, yeah, I am man enough for that. I am. Yeah, give them their reproductive rights. Am I 5 years old? Am I 3? Am I 3 years old? Hey, don't take out the trash. No, I'm going to take out the trash.
They want to use IVF to start a family? I'm not afraid of families.
They want to be.
Okay, first of all, no one is trying to outlaw IVF. This is just a lie, okay? IVF creates families. That's what that side is for. More children, okay? No one's coming after IVF. It's just a lie.
Childless cat ladies.
Have all the cats you want.
Woman wants to be president?
Well, I hope she has the guts to look me right in the eye and accept my full-throated endorsement.
Oh, really? So it doesn't matter which woman it is, though? Oh, a woman wants to be president? Well, I'm going to give her a full-throated. See? More gay propaganda. You think I'm not catching that shit? You sneaky little fuckers. You think that they can't even help themselves. You know, they're writing a script for Middle America and somehow they're talking about bears and full throats. It's like, get your brains out of the gutter, guys. And by the way, full-throated endorsement. Okay, so just doesn't matter which woman it is. I'll endorse Tulsi all day. All day, every day. AOC, no, not so much. Kamala, she hasn't shown me much, you know, especially with this fucking ad.
Because I'm man enough to support women.
Man enough to know what kind of donuts I like.
Man enough to admit I'm lost, even when I refuse to ask for directions.
Oh my God. I just made a joke that I had to edit out. I apologize, guys. I really, really wish that you could have heard it because it was really, really funny, but it was going to get this video demonetized for sure.
I'm man enough to raw dog a flight. It sucked. Not worth it.
I'm man enough to be emotional in front of my wife.
In front of my kids.
In front of my horse.
I'm man enough to tell you that I cry at Love Actually.
See what I mean? It's not tongue-in-cheek act. It's like, they can't, is it tongue-in-cheek or not? Or are we being serious? I'm man enough to cry in front of my wife. Okay. Good for you. You know, I think most men would cry in front of their wife given a reason that is big enough. I don't think that anyone would deny that, you know. I'm trying to think if Gabrielle's ever seen me cry. We can ask her in my video later. Oh, no, 100%, when my uncle died. But, you know, if I had a reason to cry, I would cry. You know. Why are we putting that in a commercial? Very weird.
Goodwill Hunting.
West Side Story.
That and Predator.
And I'm sick of so-called men domineering, belittling, and controlling women just so they can feel more powerful.
Yep, because that's why. There it is, guys. That's why they don't want people to have abortions. It's because they want to domineer women. It has nothing to do with a man's natural instinct to protect women and children. And when they visualize a baby getting murked, that maybe that has more to do with it versus I just want to choke all of the will out of any woman who wants to control her own reproductive life. No, I can't have it. No women can have autonomy over their bodies. I'm not going to have it.
That's not how my mama raised me.
I love women.
I love women who support their families.
Women who decide not to have families.
Women who take charge.
And I'm man enough to help them win.
Again. Let's move on to Star Wars because that's even more funny than this ridiculous bullshit. Named Sister. I'll read you the description of this new character. Captain Rex said of Sister that she expressed her gender identity differently than her fellow troopers, and she'd have to hide who she truly was inside. So they, quote, gave her the name Sister as a constant reminder that she belonged. That is truly moving. Wow. So, you know what I was saying about the we know that you don't like us or you hate us thing about Kamala Harris, you know what I mean? Like about that Democrat or that political party. It's like, we get it, Star Wars. You hate us, right? Like you hate us. You know this will infuriate us. Well, I mean, actually, you can't infuriate us because no one cares anymore. But you think that this is like an attack on the people who have been lighting you up for going woke. You know, they're like, they got the Acolyte canceled. Hey, let's stick them with a transgender stormtrooper. I'm sure they'll really like that. Is my hypothesis out of the gate. But there are two options here, right? You have I am a bitter woke weirdo, and I think that I can get revenge. I'm getting revenge on the toxic fandom that's hurting my product by pointing out that our shows suck donkey balls. And I'm going to get some get back by going all the way and giving them a transgender stormtrooper. I'm going to give you a perfect metaphor for what they're doing right here. And this is exactly what they're doing. So let's say on a small scale that you and your kids set up a lemonade stand on your street, right? And you are really, really cheap, right? And so you only want to use 3/4 the sugar that most people would use making lemonade, right? And so the same neighborhood kids keep coming by and they give you money. They try your lemonade. They're like, it's really not very sweet, you know? It's just not as sweet as we like it. And the people behind the table, instead of recognizing that because they're not putting as much sugar into the lemonade, making the product not as good, that's just the reality, they get angry at the people drinking the lemonade who noticed that you're skimping on the sugar, right? And so instead of just putting more sugar into the lemonade, which is how everybody's made lemonade forever, very successful recipe, instead they go, let's start slandering these people who are pointing out that our lemonade doesn't have enough sugar in it. And so when they come, they're like, oh, here come these racist freaks. You can't trust them. You can't trust them, okay? They're racist, they're homophobic, they're disgusting, they're the enemy. And then the next group of people come and they try the lemonade and they're like, yeah, but this actually isn't very sweet. Like, I don't know what you're talking about with the racist, homophobic, whatever, but I just tried your lemonade. It's just not very good. And they're like, well, I guess we're going to have to kick it up a notch. Okay. We're going to have to kick it up a notch. So next week, what we're going to do, here's how we're going to get them back. Okay. Here's how we're going to get back. And I mean revenge. We're going to use 1/3, even more less sugar. So we were doing 2/3 sugar. Now we're doing 1/3 sugar. Okay. Oh, you don't like our lemonade when we go 2/3 sugar? Let's see how you like it with 1/3 sugar. And they think that is somehow getting back at the customers when the customers are just like, yeah, I'm just not going to buy your lemonade because your lemonade tastes like shit. You don't know how to make lemonade. I don't know who put you in charge of making lemonade, because anyone should have recognized that when universally everyone's giving you the same feedback, you should listen instead of pretending like the people giving you the feedback are doing it from a position of whatever. They're all Star Wars fans, you fucking weirdos. Okay, if the Star Wars fans are like, hey, I have an idea, stop destroying all of our favorite characters, stop taking every male character and turning them into a wussy, like, retard, okay? Stop with all the woke shit. And if you would have just been like, all right, let's just take politics out. It's Star Wars. Do you have any idea how hard you have to actually try to fuck up the Star Wars brand if you start 10 years ago? Like, a person who inadvertently could break that brand would have to be so incompetent and so stupid that they should never be given a job again in anything, literally anything. Okay. Alyssa Heinerschneid, the one who did the Dylan Mulvaney ad for Bud Light, has a better idea of who the target audience is than Star Wars. Except the thing is, the Star Wars people, they do understand, and they just hate them so much. They're like, Star Wars is ours, okay? Star Wars is ours, so we're going to do what we want with it. And you're like, how's that working out for you? Like, it's not us that gets hurt, okay? It's not us that gets hurt. You're literally hurting yourselves. I don't understand how Disney still has those people running that outfit. It's unbelievable. Because you can't come back from this, dude. You literally have to clean house, fire every single person, all of them, publicly, on Front Street. Be like, we've gotten rid of everyone at Star Wars. And Lucasfilm now, we're bringing in Donald Trump Jr. We're going to do Miles Yiannopoulos, Candace Owens, and I don't know, what's the most anti-woke people ever? That's who's going to be running the studio. They're all, do any of them know how to write a story? And they're like, we don't really know. It's like, maybe you should just go with a non-political entity that's good at storytelling and knows how to make good shows. Is that a fucking complicated thing to do? But here's the thing, okay? There's the other option. So that was option one, very long-winded option one. Option two, okay, is this, okay? So what they did right here, it's targeted at children. A transgender stormtrooper is now being depicted in Star Wars lore after being first conceptualized in 2022. The character, hilariously named Sister, was written into an illustrated encyclopedia for children. So the much more insidious way of looking at this is that these people don't even see Star Wars as a business or a movie studio or whatever. Okay, like, they don't care that they're losing money. They know they're losing money. They are trying to use this as a vehicle to promote ideological subversion, like we talked about in my last video, okay? They want to get under the skin of the children, convince them that, oh, listen, transgenderism is not a rare condition that people suffer from, and then there's some, back and forth and controversy about what the best way to treat it is, right? That's not it. It's that everyone who feels different might just be a girl. You might just be a girl. I might just be a girl. But I have a penis. That doesn't matter. What does a penis have to do with you being a girl? You know? What does having a penis have to do with being a girl? And like, I'm trying to find the, this one. So remember this from the video that I did earlier? Okay. Let me just read something to you. As I mentioned before, exposure to true information does not matter anymore. A person who is demoralized is unable to assess true information. The facts tell nothing to him. Even if I shower him with information, with authentic proof, with documents, with pictures, even if I take him by force to the Soviet Union and I show him a concentration camp, he will refuse to believe it until he receives a kick in his fat bottom. So, like, as an example, if you were like, hey, does it matter that I have a penis if I want to be a girl? They're all, nah, it doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. You're all, well, the evidence is that, like, you know, like all of human history, it actually does matter. And they're like, no, no, that's not accurate. Having a penis does not keep you from being a woman. You're all right. Could you at least clarify one thing then? Why is it required for you to cut it off then if I want to be a full transgender woman? I'm sorry, go over that again. Well, you say having a penis doesn't, you know, negate me being a woman. I did say that. So then why would I have to have my penis cut off in order to be a full throttle woman? Listen, okay, I could tell you've been listening to a lot of right-wing propaganda, and I want you to stop. I just want you to stop it. I want you to stop it. I want you to watch a lot more Star Wars. I want you to stop listening to Joe Rogan and these right-wing fanatics, and you just keep in mind that if you want to be a girl, that's exactly what you are. If I want to be a girl, yes, if you want to be a girl. So it's a thing that I can want to be as opposed to I just am, because I thought you said like some people are. Again, I'm hearing a lot of right-wing in you right now, and that is very concerning because you know what happens to right-wing people? We exorcise them from our communities. You can't have a job, you can't go to school, you can't do anything. And that is exactly where you're headed, big boy. I'm a boy, big girl, you tell me. So here's the thing, we're out of time. You know, we're out of time. But believe me, in this clip, just go to Colin Rugg's X account and you can watch her say it herself that like her top issue, her top priority is giving a path to citizenship for illegal aliens. You're all really illegal immigrants, path to citizenship. Why would that be so high on your list? Is it because you care about Americans, right? Because you care about Americans? Like that's a really important thing to Americans. So your top priority is to do something about people who are not citizens of this country, right? Or is that self-serving because you want them to vote for you because you don't give any Americans any reasons to vote for you. So you'll just import people and be like, we'll let you be part of the country if you vote for us. Hey, give them citizenship and see how long they last voting for you. Okay. You think they're going to be grateful? They're just going to be like, okay, thanks for citizenship. Now I have common sense. Why would I vote for you fucking idiots? Anyway, that's what we got for today. Bye-bye.